Hey everybody, as you know, shooting cap and ball pistols is a lot of fun. It's even more fun when you can get all the supplies you need to actually shoot cap and ball pistols. And as many of you know, right now, these little babies are worth their weight in gold, if not more. They're pretty hard to come by. And so I've seen a lot of people talking about, especially on Facebook and all the cap and ball groups, just how hard percussion caps are becoming to find. And so I ran across a couple of people talking about the ability to make your own percussion caps. And I thought, okay, well, that would be really cool. And after not too much searching online, you quickly come up with Sharpshooter 22's number 11 percussion cap maker. And so I took the plunge, I ordered it. I waited about 4 weeks to get it. You know, I think a lot of people are doing this, and it's just a real popular commodity. But I thought, you know what? It's worth the wait. I want to give it a shot. And I got it. And I have to tell you, so far, this thing is awesome. I mean, just the punch to make the caps out of aluminum cans. The quality of this build, it turned on a lathe. I'm not sure exactly how he built it, but man, it is solid. It's heavy. The part fits together very well. And I have to tell you, the output is really awesome. You take a pop can, you cut the aluminum strip, you fit it right into that slot there. You take this, you punch it through, and out comes your cap. And what it looks like is a perfectly formed little percussion cap. Now, it's a little bit bigger than a number 11 cap, and so I actually have one here. This is a CCI number 11. Just as comparison. So I'll show you that. So it's a little bigger, but what I will tell you is that on my old school 1851 44, the number 11 caps, I have to pinch them to get them to stay on the nipple. The caps, the number 11 caps that come out of Sharpshooter 22's cap maker, man, it fits right on, grabs, no pinching. It actually somehow double walls it. So they're really firm, really just awesome. And so the cap maker itself, high quality, it's great, can't say enough about it. The charge that you put in the percussion cap, really what I've heard is there's two options. Number one is the all prime, I forget exactly what it's called, forgive me everybody, but it's the priming compound that Sharpshooter 22 sells. And it's really great. There's 3 or 4 powders in here that you mix to the right. Super secret recipe that they give you in the instructions. You mix it up, you pour it into the percussion cap, you add a drop of acetone, you let it sit for 24 hours. The mixture kind of hardens and basically turns into like a clay that lines the bottom of this percussion cap, and you put it on there and you fire it. So that's number one. Number two is you get these toy paper. If you remember when you were a kid, and I'm sure you do, it's these paper caps that go into a cap gun, and on this roll of paper are these little dots, right? You remember these. And so basically what you do is you cut these out and you put it in the bottom of your percussion cap. And I did a little bit of YouTube searching, and one of the YouTubers said, go ahead and put one of these in the bottom of the cap, sprinkle a little bit of gunpowder, and put another one on top. That was the most reliable. And so what I did was I wanted to test out both of those methods. So like I said, just got the cap maker this past week, formed out about 20 different caps, and I made 10 with the paper caps or toy cap gun caps, and 10 using the all priming compound from Sharpshooter 22. So I made up 20 rounds, and we took it out to the range today to see how they did. So I'll basically talk you through it. So the first thing we did was we tested out the paper caps. Okay, all right, so German roll paper caps. And, you know, it lit off perfectly. There was a slight delay between, you know, the hammer striking and the main charge going off, but it was almost imperceivable. You could kind of tell it was a ba-boom instead of a boom. But then it was like, was that really there? Especially looking at the replay, it was fine. Then we switched over to the caps using the priming compound. Those, boom, went off just like a CCI number 11. Couldn't tell the difference. So this is Primol priming compound. Here we go. See if I can hit the target this time. That had plenty of authority. We went through about, I think about 15 shots, and we didn't have a single failure on either one. Not a single failure to fire on the paper caps, and not a single failure to fire on the priming compound from Sharpshooter 22. So we got to the point where we were super impressed with everything. And then we had about 5 shots of this left over. So I went ahead and I loaded 5 in this old 1851 replica, and 2 went off, and then 2 did not go off. And so you can kind of see that in the video. And yeah, I know I was flinching. Sorry about that. I was tired. I was excited. It was having fun. I flinched. We'll all move past that. But the third one finally went off. And after thinking about it, I am attributing it to the fact that when I put these paper caps, you know, cutting out the little circle, putting it in there, I didn't secure it in any way. They were just kind of loose or being held by friction in the cap. And the fact that those are the only ones that didn't actually detonate the charge, I have to attribute to the fact that it somehow moved. It just wasn't in the right position when the hammer struck the percussion cap, which to no fault of Sharpshooter 22 and the product that he's selling. So I think in the future what I would do is I would come up with a way, I'm not sure what it is, maybe you guys have ideas, to somehow secure the little red cap fragments, you know, really seat them well so that they don't move. The only other issue we ran into is with the priming compound, it turns to like a clay that lines it, and I absolutely let it sit for actually 48 hours before we actually fired them. And on a couple of them, you know, they kind of fell over and some of the powder would come out. It was very loosely binded to the bottom of the cap. And so we even ran a couple that were basically turned to powder, where if you turned it over, it would all fall out. But I said, you know what, let's try it anyway. We actually had loose powder, priming compound in powder form, not adhered to the cap. We put that on the nipple, fired it, boom, went off, no problem. So what I think I need to put a little more thought into is, what do we put in after the acetone, after it's dried and kind of made that clay-like substance? Is it super glue? Is it, I don't know what it would be. Just something to really make sure it's all adhesive in there and it's not going to come out. But aside from that, it ran perfectly. The machining, the quality, if you're thinking, man, I just can't find any percussion caps and it's a real downer, I agree with you. I absolutely would recommend picking one of these up from Sharpshooter 22. Wait 4 weeks, it's worth the wait. You know, get the German-made paper caps. I haven't tried the Chinese, but everybody said that these German ones work really good. I found it found these at a vintage toy store here in town. It's awesome. You can always make your own percussion caps. And so that's it. I just wanted to give you that review. Thanks for watching and have fun.